quick video on this VR Diorama Creator that I made in 2 weeks using ChatGPT for coding. So basically, these kind of tractor beams, they were already in the VR template. So I just kind of used those to create to be able to grab and pull in these assets that I made in Gravitysketch. These all share the same texture. So they're basically one material, which means they're one draw call. Of course, when I'm picking them up like this, they are dynamic objects. When I place one, it basically stamps a static object into the scene. So this way, all the objects that get placed are all static, part of the static batching, and again, will also just be one draw call. For shadows, I created a texture overlay that I was able to program in with ChatGPT that basically multiplies a black and white mask into the albedo texture that in world coordinates projects a small gradient relative to the size of the object, which gives you this nice illusion of contact shadow. But again, it doesn't give you the draw calls or the performance loss that actual decals would do. This is just a map that basically gets baked into the albedo map. Basically, it has a collider, so you can grab it with both hands, scale it up and down like that. I had something built in where you could also rotate the object, but I realized that in VR you should just be able to rotate by actually rotating the object. And I made it so that it doesn't always go back to its original position, so you can really place it anywhere you like. But for VR, I think it's always a good decision to have less user interface and more just intuitive ways of interacting how you would interact in real life. So this is the idea, and obviously because it's a multiply map, these kind of baked ambient occlusion spots, they do multiply, so they do add up. So if I would put a bunch here, it does get extra dark. Now, let's get some stones in there, kind of have them intersect. So the idea of this app is kind of like a creative app, but I would also say it is kind of a meditative app. There's no real purpose, it's just a lot of fun to build little dioramas like this, being able to check them out in virtual reality. Currently, there's no undo system, and I'm actually thinking of keeping it super lightweight and just not implementing that. It's kind of a linear experience. You just need to get into a little bit of a flow state, not overthink. Just start copy, paste, scale and rotate, and doing so kind of getting a lot of mileage out of just a small set of assets. This is an old asset that I used for the kind of prototype of this one. I'd be happy to hear some suggestions on where to take this, because currently this is just an experiment that lives on my PC. One of the things that I was thinking is having some kind of gallery where you could basically just scroll or swap through different worlds that people have made. Obviously, you'd have to have a function in there to be able to save it. Or somehow being able to expand this world into bigger islands or bigger connected worlds. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, my workflow is, so this was made in Unity, using their VR template, which was actually really a struggle to get the right assets and the latest VR template and the right Unity version to go along with it, but that's where ChatGPT was able to help me out. So models were made in Gravitysketch, so also were made in VR, and that is really where the idea kind of came from, because in Gravitysketch, as you're building, it's also so easy to kind of make these little dioramas yourself, and the basic functionality is the same, or just move, scale, rotate objects around. So I just thought I'd want to see that in a more of a little fun experience format with full textures and lighting. And materials were done in Substance Painter. And I usually need to do a little bit of post-processing in 3ds Max. But yeah, that's it. Pretty basic tool set. Could use some sound though. That might be something I could, some low-hanging fruit that I could work on. But yeah, this is it. Kind of simple, but super fun to do. Would love to hear some suggestions on where to take this or what to do with it.